My name is Jeff Knoll. I'm the local regional councillor here in Oakville's Ward 5. Almost as much applause as Pam. I'll accept it. We also have a couple of volunteer councillors with us today too. We have Scott G, who is styling the barbecue. Thanks, Scott. Brand new councillor, just joined us last year, represents Ward 7. My colleague here in Ward 5, Mark Grant's with us this morning. Natalia Lischina has been allowed to cross the border from Ward 6 into Ward 5. Natalia Lischina. Welcome, Natalia. And is Rory Nissen still here? Oh, there's Rory. Rory Nissen is visiting us from Burlington. He represents Ward 3 in Burlington. So welcome to Oakville, and we're certainly willing to share our secrets of community success with your community.
Thanks for the pancakes.
You're welcome. So I would like to introduce at this time a very good friend of our, I was going to say Pam's and mine, but of the entire community, Mr. Stephen Paquette.
Ani, Oju, Sego, Hans, Wachea, Ai, Kwe. I bring greetings to you and just some of the different First Nations here on Turtle Island. It's both an honor and a pleasure for me to be here today. This is not my first time, and it won't be my last time. It's an event that I look forward to every year. So what I would like to do is I would like to offer you a land acknowledgement to start off this day in a good way. Now, for some of you, you might not know what a land acknowledgement is. So I'd actually like to take the time to explain to you what a land acknowledgement is. And what I'm going to suggest to say to you is that a land acknowledgement is very much like, let's say, the Canadian anthem. And why do we stop and stand and, take that moment when we sing the Canadian anthem? It's to acknowledge our relationships. It's to acknowledge our relationships with this country that we call Canada. It's an opportunity to stop and acknowledge our relationships as fellow Canadians. It's about relationships. So when we look at the land acknowledgement, that too is all about relationships. It's kind of morphed a little bit into a political statement. We always acknowledge that we are in the traditional treaty territory of the Mississaugas of the Credit, but we also have to acknowledge that there were many other First Nations that lived on this territory as well. So, you see a lot of scripted land acknowledgement statements, but as I've been taught by my elders, is that there is no one scripted land acknowledgement. Because really and truly, it just comes from the heart. You know what you have to acknowledge. So I would like to offer you this land acknowledgement today. So I start off by saying, Ani, Oju, Shimigwich Creator, for this beautiful gift of today. We give gratitude for this opportunity to come together as community and to acknowledge all of our relationships. We start off by giving thanks and acknowledgement to Mother Earth. You call it Earth, we call it Mother Earth. And I'd like to know that we live in a world now where it's okay to be different. We embrace our differences, that it's okay to think differently. So we acknowledge and give thanks to Mother Earth. We acknowledge and give thanks to the original nations, or as you call them, the trees and the plants. We remember that they give us all these resources, they give us medicine, they provide us with food, and we shouldn't take that for granted. We acknowledge and give gratitude to the original stewards of the land, the four-legged, the flyers, the swimmers, the crawlers, who have a symbiotic relationship with everything here on Mother Earth. We acknowledge and give thanks. This is what it's all about. Community coming together, I love it. We acknowledge and give thanks to Navish, to water. Water is life, water is sacred. And when we acknowledge the water, we always acknowledge the females who are the carriers of those teachings. We acknowledge and give thanks to you would call them rocks. We refer to them as grandfathers and the infinite wisdom that they carry. We acknowledge and give thanks to the four winds that carry the spirits of our ancestors. It doesn't matter where you came from on Mother Earth. We stop and acknowledge our relationship with Father Son, who comes together with Mother Earth and all those resources to create life. We acknowledge and give gratitude to our relationship with Grandma Moon, who helps to cleanse Mother Earth through the tides. We acknowledge and give thanks to our distant relations, the Star people from whence we came. For all of these, we give great respect and appreciation, Creator. Miigwech, 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 miigwech. Aho. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you so much, Stephen. I'm the MP for Oakville, North Burlington, and it's wonderful to be here today with my good friend Jeff Knoll. We had talked a few years ago about the fact that there's nothing that happens in the North on Canada Day. So we decided to fix that and do something ourselves. So it's wonderful to have you here. This morning I met some people who are celebrating their first Canada Day in Canada, as well as some first Canada Days as Canadian citizens. So to the ones that are celebrating for the first time, big shout out to you. You know, I was born here in Canada, but you've chosen Canada as your home. And I think we can all agree that we live in a country that is, when we look around the world and we look at the situations around the world that are really troubling, like in Afghanistan and Ukraine, we are so lucky to live in Canada. We're so lucky to live in a country that has so much diversity, that welcomes newcomers, and I feel blessed to be a member of Parliament in Canada. As an MP, though, in the federal government, I also want to acknowledge the impact that colonialism has had on Indigenous peoples. And to my good friend Stephen Paquette, I just want to thank you. I don't know where you've gone, Stephen, but thank you for being here today. I know for many Indigenous peoples, today brings mixed emotions because of Canada's treatment of Indigenous peoples. If any of you were part of Indigenous Reads this year, we read The Northwest is Our Mother about the impact of colonialism on the Métis Nation. I encourage you to read that. So today we're here to celebrate Canada Day, also to reflect on our country. And we are going to do a citizenship reaffirmation ceremony. So at my tent there, if anyone is interested in a certificate, but basically what a reaffirmation ceremony is if you're a Canadian citizen, you reaffirm your Canadian citizenship. So what we're going to, the way we're going to do this is Denise from the Canadian Caribbean Association of Halton is going to play our Equal Canada for us. Thank you, Denise, for the last minute request and being able to accommodate us. And while I'm on that, I want to give, I know we both do, a big thank you to Canadian Caribbean Association of Halton for being here to play the steel pan drums. There's nothing like Caribbean music on Canada Day. As well as, a big round of applause for CCAA. And then out in the park there, we have Bandology. If you don't know Bandology, get to know them. They're incredible. And they brought bucket drumming for the kids and adults who want to take part. So thank you to both of these amazing community organizations. Did you want to say anything else, Joe?
Got some quick things. Are we over for the ceremony? I just want to echo those thanks to CCAH and their tremendous community partners. I want to say a big thank you to the volunteers who were here bright and early this morning helping us set up. The volunteers from Team Pam and my colleagues and my family were here today. But a big shout out as well to Michelle Knoll, who is my wife and my partner, and she co-conspirator on all these wonderful events. Is Michelle about? Or is she still mixing batter in the... Oh, there's Michelle. Hello, Michelle. She's busy mixing batter for you all. But Michelle is the executive director here at the Oak Park Neighborhood Center. Before you leave today, take a moment to pop in and just have a look around at this amazing facility that we have here in North Oakville that my wife and her colleagues spend so much time and energy on to bring great services to not just North Oakville, but the entire Halton region. So thank you for that opportunity, for that shout out. Pam, there's a bit of trivia in this year's citizenship service. Does anybody know what's going to be different in this year's citizenship? There's two things. Wow. Okay. Well, let's see if anybody know what one of those things are, or any of those things are. What's different this year in the citizenship oath that wasn't there last year? Anybody know? That's one. I don't know what the second one is.
There you go. Yeah, Marnie is right. So what's different this year is we pledge allegiance to the King and not the Queen. But also for the first time this year, there's acknowledgement of treaty rights of First Nations, Inuit, and Métis, which was not there in the past. So that was something that the government changed about a year ago, but it wasn't in place last year. So So 2 things that we're changing this year. So these are the certificates. You're welcome to grab one from the tent, and anyone who wishes to partake, you're welcome to, but we'll start with O Canada, Denise, if that's okay. Well, I have to say, with 5 minutes notice to do that, that's pretty impressive. Thank you, Denise. That's really wonderful. So what I will do is I will read a line, and then if you want to participate, you don't have to. But if you want to participate, you just repeat after me. So I reaffirm that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance
that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance
to His Majesty King Charles III,
His Majesty King Charles III,
King of Canada,
King of Canada,
his heirs and successors,
his heirs and successors,
and that I will faithfully observe
and faithfully observe
the laws of Canada, including the Constitution,
the laws of Canada, including the Constitution,
which recognizes and affirms
which recognizes and affirms
the Aboriginal and treaty rights
the Aboriginal and treaty rights
of First Nations, Inuit, and Métis peoples,
First Nations, Inuit, and Métis people,
and fulfill my duties
fulfill my duties
as a Canadian citizen.
as a Canadian citizen.
And there we have it. Congratulations, everybody. So enjoy the pancakes, enjoy the bucket drumming, the music, and thank you all for coming out. Just a reminder, there is a water bar here if anyone wants water, and do keep hydrated when it's so hot.
And just one more bit of housekeeping. Washrooms are inside if you require facilities. So please take advantage of everything we have here today. We're going to be serving pancakes, so the line's done. So don't worry, don't panic. The pancakes will be here. Yeah, and you know what? I introduced our elected colleagues a little while ago. Let's bring them up so you can put faces to names. Can I invite all my elected friends to pop up for a second? Just so you know who your elected representatives are, and you can give them an earful later on. Thank you. Guys, we're making better. Rory, are you still here with us too? Paging Rory Nissen. Rory Nissen, come to the stage. I guess he left. Okay, well anyway, here we have with us, I introduced earlier today, we have Scott G, Ward 7. Dr. Natalia Lischina from Ward 6. Mark Grant, the local councillor from Oakville's Ward 5. As I mentioned earlier, I'm Jeff Knoll. I'm the lead regional and local councillor for Ward 5. And of course, Pam Damoff, you've met before, our member parliament here in Oakville, North Burlington. Thanks everybody for coming. Happy Canada Day. We hope to see you, weather permitting, in Bronte tonight for the fireworks.
So this is the Bandology setup which we were talking about. There are so many drums. People are enjoying. Look at her face. And the flags. What is she doing?
Damoff, I think you need to have a sticker, but you could also.
Thank you so much. And that's the sticker for me. For the Bandology. For the Bandology. Maybe you can read it. This says Bandology. Hello, happy Canada Day. Okay. And that's how we have celebrated the Canada Day today. I am really fortunate to be a part of this. Pam Damoff is MP, Liberal Party. Councillor Jeff Knoll is from the CP party. So, and then we had someone from Indigenous community. So I see a lot of diversity as well as unity in diversity. And that's how I am blessed that I live in this country. I was born in this country, and that's a good feeling. A country which accommodates everything on any part of the earth. If you are struggling through, at least you get a shade and the basic human survival things in Canada, which is, I guess, in the list of countries, this is something which is rare. So, oh Canada, that's how we celebrate the Canada Day.